Hi, I had a quick point to make about relationships. I think it's very important that when we go into a new relationship, that we have to deal with our soul ties and our past relationships. And we do that by one, have you prayed about it to God? Have you told God, God, I I had an encounter with this person, or, please help me move on from that person. I think inviting God into your relationship issues is very important. And I found it kind of revelation to me, because I feel like I never really thought about asking God to help me in my relationships. And so, have you really thought about it? Even though I feel like I've prayed maybe in high school, like about a relationship, it wasn't really consistent. And, I wasn't really focused on having the right relationship. And so, anyway, the point I wanted to make today was try to move on from your past relationships. When you're in a new relationship, it's easy to think about maybe that sexual encounter that you had with another person, or how you and that person got along, and your soul is kind of tied to a different person. And I don't think that's God's best, especially when you're trying to get in and have another relationship. It's important that we have to let go of the past. And even though you might be sad that that person's gone, I think God, and your spouse would want you to be focused on them. Your spouse would want you to be focused on, the here and now, and not focus on the past. God tells us when we're in a relationship with Him that we have to forget the past, and move on to what He has for us. He does say forget the past. And so, anyway, I just wanted to make a quick relationship note that, we should move on from our past relationships. And we do that through, I think, prayer, inviting God into our life. But we've already done that, but I think, having patience, but really just when you start to think of that person, you can say things like, I'm in a new relationship now. Like, that's not that me and that person are not talking. I'm not going to make provision for that. I'm not going to do anything that compromises my new relationship, because we have to be focused on what God has for us, because God will bless us. God is always watching what we do. And it's important to start thinking about it now, that even though you might have had a great time for a moment in that relationship, but somehow it ended through misfortune, God has better things in store for us. And I can notice and tell you that sometimes a broken heart comes from just a relationship that didn't work out. And so I think it's important that you move on from those past relationships, break those soul ties, and say, I'm going to tie my soul to who God has in my life now, and see the good things that are in that person, and see the good that God has for me. And so I think God will help us if we ask Him. God will help us move on. And really, the Bible says to share your heart with God. So it's important that we let God know what is going on with us. And then He'll direct our way in the future. And maybe it won't be today, but God will, He's eventually going to work. God is going to accomplish all that He says. And so We just have to be patient, even though it could be kind of hard, waiting for that right person, or, you're waiting for your relationship to turn around. You're waiting for, that breakthrough in your relationship, or your just knowledge of how to accomplish, how to have a good relationship. You're waiting to understand more. And so I just wanted to share that with you. Hope you got something from this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos, and see ya.